tent up. And I know most of you guys, you camp a lot, so you know how to set a tent up. But in the wintertime especially, it's very important to have your ground bed down good. Make sure you've got your ground cloth. Make sure it's tucked in. You don't want to see it. You don't want it exposed because that'll catch moisture and run it underneath your tent. You want it to go under the ground cloth. When you get in, do not zip that tent all the way up. The windows on. Now some tents have just got screens now, so you don't have that problem. But if you've got one that has windows that zip all the way up, in the wintertime especially, just leave a gap there. If you've got an A-frame type tent, just have a window about like this on both sides of the tent. What that does, that allows moisture to escape the tent. It's a vent, just like on a house. All houses are vented to get rid of the moisture. If you bottle them completely up in cold weather, just the moisture from your body will come out and collect on the tent, and it'll either rain or it'll frost off in the inside there. So, you know, you've got moisture there that you want to get rid of. So what you do is just leave yourself some ventilation in your tent, and that way you can escape. I've seen some people zip their tent all the way up and then throw a plastic tarp over top of it. That's the worst thing you can do, because what happens is it traps the moisture and it can't go anywhere. I used to take boys out. We do the winter hike down Hocking Hills every year. We go down on Friday night and camp out. It'd be 15 below when you wake up on Saturday morning. They never put a tent up. What they did, they put their ground cloth down, put their ground bed, and then when they turned in, I'd throw another tarp over top of it. And what would happen, the moisture would wick through their sleeping bag, it would freeze to that top tarp, and get up in the morning to shake that frost off, they were dry as a bone. You stay dry, you stay warm, exactly. But that's the way you do it in real severe cold weather. Some people try to put straw underneath their tent like this. You know, you don't need that. What you need is a good ground bed. Now, most of you have probably got what I'm going to talk about, and that's a foam pad, much like this one here. That will insulate you on ice, okay? When you put that down, you put your hand down there, you will not feel the cold. It will not absorb water, so you don't have to worry about soaking it up like a sponge. That's all you really need on between you and the ground. If you don't have something like that, or if you need something more than that, then put another layer down of some sort. It could be a blanket, or it could be another pad like that. Stay away from air mattresses, because the air mattress will trap air, and your body cannot generate enough heat to heat that air up to keep you warm. It's just going to pull that heat away from your body all night long. Same way if you're on the ground without a pad, it'll do the same thing.
Well, there are some little air pads like that.
Some of them, like thermal rest. Yeah, I've got one of those. I didn't unpack it, but yeah, those have got some insulating factor in them, because there's foam in there that actually, you know, it opens up. And that will trap some heat from your body to keep it warm also. In fact, in the wintertime, I put both this one and that one down. If you don't have something like that, then use a wool blanket, or I've used corrugated cardboard, you know, cardboard boxes, because they've got little air channels in there, and that'll help insulate you also. Now, if it gets wet, you're going to have a mess, but you try to avoid getting wet.
As you probably remember, before the foam pads came out, it was always a challenge to keep warm on the body. I got that foam pad. It's the most beneficial expense I ever had.
I paid $6 for this one from Walmart about 20 years ago, and I've been spending the film on 3 times. They are very durable, and they'll last forever if you take care of them.
I got mine in 82.
82? 94, you got me beat, Fred. But you're a little bit older than I am. Not much.
Not much.
Okay, sleeping bags. How many of you got a down-filled, zeroed sleeping bag? Well, a couple of you do. That's good. All right. How many don't? Then you're the ones that need to pay attention. Okay? This is a down-filled bag, and you know they're expensive. I mean, if you buy a good one, you can spend anywhere from $80 to $300-400 for a sleeping bag. I lucked out. This is a $200 bag. I got it on sale for $35, so I grabbed it real quick. But, it's a good bag, it's good for 0 degree. If you only have a summer bag, like the 30 pounder I've got, or 30 degree here, what you can do, they make these felt liners, they call summer bag. You can unzip one of them, tuck it inside here, and you've dropped it down about 5 or 10 degrees more. So you got a 20 degree bag. If you want to get colder or warmer than that, then put another one in there, or a blanket. You can simply take a wool blanket, this is a small blanket, fold it in half, shove it in your sleeping bag, and get in between the layers. Okay, it's like a sandwich. You're the meat in the sandwich. So, or my wife with me there. But, you know, if you want another one, just throw another one in there. Keep adding to it, and you can keep as warm as you want with your summer type bag. Okay? Everybody understand that? If you don't have a sleeping bag, just use the blankets and then make a bag out of it. Yes, sir.
Would a fleece blanket work the same as a wool?
They do. I mean, unless they get wet. But there again, you know, your sleeping quarters, you want to make sure you do everything you can to stay dry. This is fleece here. And like I say, it's a summer bag. It is a sleeping bag. And you just shove it in there and get in between the layers. But if you don't have one of these, then just use a blanket. It doesn't have to be a wool blanket. If you've got a quilt at home, anything. You know, take it from home. Make sure mom knows you're not going to get it all muddy and everything. But, you know, she wants her little guy to keep warm. So she'll say, yeah, go ahead and take it. But, you know, just keep layering up.
I guess it's a fleece type blanket that use things more or less like the LSU or whatever. And I took it and I sewed down here, and I also sewed along here for a while. The first thing I do is put my feet in there, and I shove it down to the bottom of the sleeping bag. My feet are in this enclosed space. They're not. This thing, your feet can get lost or lose the blanket. And it's long enough that I get it above my shoulders.
And I've got army blankets that are bigger than this. I'll take it
The full size.
and fold it up, and then you get these big laundry pins, or like big safety pins, and just pin it. Same way. Same thing that Mr. Fred was telling about. But, you know, anything like that. Now, it's a trick getting in these, so you gotta learn how to do that. You know, so you got full coverage. And if you've got an opening like this in the blanket, make sure it's on the opposite side of the zipper. That way you've got an airtight seal all the way around. Okay? Now, how many have gotten up in the cold morning and you don't want to get out of the sleeping bag to put cold clothes on? Okay, that's an experience that most of you have had. Take the clothes you're going to wear in the morning, shove them in the foot of your sleeping bag. That'll help keep your feet warm, and it'll also have warm clothes that you can skim in the morning without getting all chilled.
But make sure they aren't the clothes you wore the day before, because the clothes you wore the day before may be
Maybe wet.